Hello friend! Welcome to another episode of How to Love Your NPCs, the wonderful series filled with kindness, laughter, pain and anguish. Today's plan is simple. Instead of fear and anxiety, I'm going to make houses that remind our lovely NPCs that they're horrible people. If they feel fear, then that's a bonus. Our very first customer today is the mechanic. I'll be right back. As I was saying, our very first customer of the day is the mechanic. Hello, Nancy. Anything to say? Dominic keeps talking about pressing my pressure plates. I told him it was for stepping on. Well, I'd like to press on them too, if you don't mind. I mean, I don't mind stepping on them too, but I think I'd want you to do the stepping instead. Okay, moving on. Well, for once, I don't actually have anything against the mechanic, so I'll build her a nice prison here in the ice biome, which she actually likes. But of course, this can't be a video on how to love your NPCs without any form of psychological torture, so I'll make her house out of dungeon bricks. I mean, I'm not that bad, so I'll leave in one tree for her, just to remind her of the outside world. Being tied up in the dungeon for so long, I'm sure she will love to see dungeon walls again. I've included all 3 types of colours, just to make sure that whichever world she spawns in, this wonderful villa will bring back some PTSD. Of course, I'm kinder than World Gen, so I'll actually give her a house that is well lighted. Nothing says spooky like dungeon spirits, so here's a bunch of banners. Also, the all-important bathtub for the mechanic right next to the window. This is so she can admire the icy mountains while taking her bath. It's definitely not so I can look in from the other side. No, that would be absurd. A couple of wall skeletons for the ambiance too. It's part of the lore that the mechanic made the mechanical bosses, so I'll place these to remind her of a grave mistake. Thanks for ruining the world. I mean, as a whole, I'm not really that heartless, so I'll give you this wonderful painting to remind you of your long-lost sweetheart. Although I must say, you have pretty bad taste. A few more paintings to remind her of her horrible creations. So, how do you like your new home, Nancy? Did you make sure your device was plugged in? I don't know. Can you help me check? Perfect. No one is in the way for building infrastructure. I like the snow, machines don't overheat here, and the energy flows efficient. Yeah, you're welcome. You want a jam? And it's nighttime. May I interest you in a nice warm bath? Or would you like me to serenade you instead? Okay, bye. And what do you know? Now we have her boyfriend, the Goblin scammer. Hello, Tigerd. Actually, I think the G is silent, so... Hello, turd. Do you know why we all carry around these spiked balls? Because I don't. Well, I don't either. Maybe it's just for reassurance. I was going to start on your new prison, but fittingly a goblin invasion spawned. So before I do that, I think I'm going to massacre your people right in front of you. Because, well, I can. So, how'd you like that, turd? This is fun. Also, I realize he probably doesn't care since he's throwing his own spiky balls at them. But hey, whatever works, right? Anyway, Mr. Turd hates the jungle biome, so I'll be building his house right here. Unfortunately, I don't really know what he hates or what he's afraid of, so I'll just go with whatever, I guess. For some reason, I started with a turtle in a tank. No idea why, but maybe Turd here has a phobia of turtles. Because... Turtle? Okay, that was a bad pun. I'll just go with a tree-based prison since he hates the jungle anyway. Nothing screams jungle like trees. I'll just tell myself that he has a phobia of spiders as well, because he's been bound up underground for such a long time. I'm sure spiders probably will spook him out. Of course, we have to add some authentic cobwebs for maximum effect. I'll also place his bed half submerged, so he has no choice but to sleep on a soggy bed. And the lamp, which I can't place in water. Okay. More spider lighting, cause why not? I'm not as generous for him as I was for the mechanic, so I'll give him this painting instead. All to remind him that his beloved mechanic is slowly being taken over by the Hollowed. Nothing screams love more than seeing your loved one being corrupted. Yay! Some goblins playing poker to remind him that gambling for modifiers suck. And some Guide Picasso because who doesn't love Guide Picasso? Hello, turd. How's life? Goblins are surprisingly easy to anger. In fact, yeah, okay, whatever. Perfect. The lack of annoying neighbors adequately meet my needs. I don't like the jungle. It's filled with loud, annoying pests that get in the way of my work. Honestly, the only pest I see in the jungle is green, bald, and standing right in front of me. How do you like the ambience at night, turd? You know, green water is too friendly. I think red water is worse. And by worse, I mean better. Well, 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 we have the tavern keep. Hello, Mo. Is your last name by any chance Sislak? We should really do something about the Old One's army. Ask me about the Terraria crystal if you want to learn more. No, I don't. Finally, some peace and quiet. As a bartender, this is a luxury. Well, Baldi here doesn't really like snow too, just like almost every other NPC out there. It's getting pretty crowded in here. Baldi is pretty boring, so I have zero inspiration on what to do. I was thinking Bone, because he has pretty much no life, but I think an old mossy tavern would do just fine. There we go, a boring box for a boring individual. Of course, we are nice, so let's add a bar. I have an idea. I'm going to block the door using echo blocks, so he can actually never escape. He will try to leave, then boom, invisible wall. I also added some graves to remind him that even graves are more useful than he is. Here's another fun little idea. I'll add a nice little signboard outside his door, and then write a fun little message, so whenever he walks out, he can see this wonderful message. A couple of Guide Picassos, always a nice touch. Some alcohol framed into the wall, so he can't ever get any. And some random paintings like the Scream, and maybe one of the Red Rock. So, how do you like your new home? Finally, some peace and quiet. I'm not a fan of the snow, it's bitter. I mean, alcohol is pretty bitter, and so is your life and personality. By the way, have you seen this wonderful sign? Ha ha ha, stinky. You stinky. And hello, it's everyone's favorite redhead, the stylist. Good afternoon, Esmeralda. I mean, the stylist is pretty fun with all her wacky hair dyes. And hey, who doesn't love a new hairdo? According to the wiki, Esmeralda here absolutely hates the tavern keep, so I guess that's one thing we have in common. Apparently, it has something to do with Baldi, literally being bald, but whatever. I've only recently noticed this, but I've realized that the arms dealer can see right up the nurse's skirt, which is totally an unintentional benefit he has received. But until I can think of what to do, I guess he can enjoy the view, for now. I know for a fact that the stylist has a thing against spiders, since she has been living with the wall creepers for a long time. That's why it's time for her to relive that nightmare. Fun gem walls to simulate the underground, and nice spider walls all around to trigger her arachnophobia. Not too sure how I feel about having all these glass squares though. Of course, spider furniture as always, just to complete the look. Add a couple of paintings to remind her that the Dryad is way more attractive. I mean, just look at that gorgeous smile. It's totally just the face, and nothing else. I don't like the glass, so I'm replacing it with some pretty dark walls for maximum fear and claustrophobia. And there we go! A nice, cozy, fear-inducing cave for Esmeralda. Good evening, ma'am. Short back and sides, is it? No, bald. Lovely. I get to keep to myself and study my technique without distraction. I don't like it here in the snow. How can anyone show off their hair when it's so cold? I tried to work on Mo the Tavern Keep, but was rudely rejected. I don't like stubborn people. Well, I think you might be the stubborn one who's trying to style that train wreck. I mean, just look, his golden locks of hair are much too fragile. Well, that's about all the time we have today on how to love your NPCs. Do you want to take a bath together? No? Well, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon too, for more guides on showering NPCs with love. Do follow me on Twitter and Instagram too, and do check out the Zuzucorn merch line. Have a nice day, and have a great week ahead. Bye bye!